Skybot Scheduler has a direct interface to Informatica, which you can use to quickly and easily schedule your workflows. Let's take a look at how to set those up. Here's the workflow that we're going to schedule. Create the workflow in Informatica just as you usually do. The workflow may contain one step or multiple steps and dependencies. As you can see, ours branches, and both branches need to complete for that last step to process. Now let's take a look at how to set this workflow up to run within Skybot Scheduler. The first step is to define your Informatica system to Skybot, and this step only needs to be done once. You'll give it a name and a description, and then you'll need to add either the system name or the IP address of your Informatica server, the port number to communicate through. HTTPS is allowed. Go ahead and check that box if you'll be using that protocol. Then enter the repository domain, the name of the repository that you'll be using for your workflows, and then a username that has the correct credentials to be able to execute those workflows. Save that definition and you're done with that step. Now let's create a job to run that workflow. When you create a job, again, you give it a name and a description. Select the agent that you want that job to run on. And here's where you enter the schedule. Now I have this run twice a day. I could add an additional schedule if I needed it to run, maybe on certain days of the week. So we've got lots of different scheduling options here. Day of month end, timed intervals, etc. And you can also build dependencies within Skybot. So to add the Informatica command, you go to the command area. We have a drop-down box, and if you select Informatica Workflow, it will prompt you for the parameters that it needs. So first you'll select the system, and then it needs the integration service name. So you would select that from a list. It drills into the folders that are available, and then you can also select the workflow that you want to run from a list of available workflows. If you want to start at a specific task within the workflow, you can enter that here. And if you only want to run the one, you can select that. Here also you could enter the operating system profile, or if you want to run a different instance of that workflow, you would enter that there. I always like to check to retrieve the log, and we'll roll that workflow log into the Skybot job log. We'll take a look at that in just a second. You can see here that you can also enter a parameter file or a list of parameters that this workflow needs when it runs. I'll save that job, and now I've got it scheduled. I'm going to take this job, though I'm going to run it right now so that we can take a look at that job log. I always like to have a good log in case there are any kinds of errors so that I need to do some troubleshooting. I've got a good place to go to. You can view the job history from this screen. You can see that that instance is still running. It might take another second before it completes. And then we can go in and download that log. You can also email the job log if that would be easier for you. Here's our log. The status was successful. This is the date and the time. And you can see under here we have all of the steps that each of the steps in that workflow ran. And we got a good successful completion code, so it's completed. So that's it. So scheduling your Informatica workflows with Skybot Scheduler is easy